All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Labor Day. Thank you for joining us on this holiday. Glad you can make it. I'm going to go right into our meeting. We have a dual speaker meeting this evening, which I'm very proud of. We have both Erica Hardison, who is our D6950 Literacy Chair. We also have with us Carlo Franzblau, and he is the, should I say, originator of a program called SOAR, S-O-A-R, Sing Out and Read. I'm going to just go ahead. I posted everything on the P-mail that I sent everybody and on our Facebook page, a little bit on their bio. So I am just going to go ahead and hand the meeting right over to them. So either one, whichever wants to start, have at it.
I think Erica is going to start.
Yes, hello, and please forgive me because I am working off of dual screens here. So sometimes if you see me look away, it's only because my other screen is, I'm looking at my other screen trying to figure out what's going on the other side. But my name is Erica Hardison, and I am the District 6950 Basic Education and Literacy Chair. And as Literacy Chair, I find programs, I really promote literacy throughout our district. And one of the reasons I became Literacy Chair is because I've been in education for about 14 years and found that literacy was the main key keeping our kids far behind in school. And in our area in St. Petersburg, Florida, we have discovered that there is a huge reading gap between Black and non-Black students. And so my club, St. Petersburg Midtown Rotary, began working on a project called Zap the Reading Gap. So what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and tell you a bit about that project. And it is powered by Sing Out and Read or SOAR. And then Carlo Franzblau I'll give a brief introduction to Carlo Franzblau, and then he'll tell you more in depth about the program. So I'm going to go ahead and try and share my screen here, and we will see what happens. Hopefully, technology will be on my side today, and I think it is. If you can give me a thumbs up, great. It looks like you guys can see the beautiful screen, so I will go ahead and get started. So again, the Road to Literacy, St. Petersburg Midtown Rotary, and our Zap the Reading Gap program. I gave a little bit of history about our program. We are located in the sunny state of Florida in the United States, and we are on the west coast of Florida, right south of Tampa. And so in our district, we had this huge reading gap, as I mentioned before, and our Rotary Club, the St. Petersburg Midtown Rotary Club, wanted to see how we could close this reading gap. And so we started with 3 projects. The first one was in 2020. This is anybody remember 2020? Raise your hand and wave. Yeah, what happened in 2020? We had a pandemic, but what we did in this pandemic is we were able to get a district level grant, and it allowed us to work with some children and families in a public housing development called Jordan Park. And that was our first push for Sing Out and Read in the Family Literacy Project, otherwise known as SPLIP. Next, we did so well in that program, we said, hey, can we get some people on board? And as Rotary, we always like to amplify our impact. And so downtown St. Pete saw the work that we were doing, and we were able to get SOAR and them to sponsor a cohort there. And then later on in 2021, we sponsored, it was around 8 families that finished, but 10 foster children in the program. Many people know, like with foster children, they're moving around a lot. And so their education is not very stable, but we were able to to sponsor and partner with the foster agency here and get that done. And so I'm going to skip that slide. And we called our program Zap the Reading Gap, right? And so St. Pete Midtown Rotary wrote a check for $5,000, and we were able to start zapping the reading gap. So we started out with about 10 students, and we recruited those students, and it was really amazing. So the families started out real strong. One of the great things about SOAR and the Family Literacy Project or FLIP is that there's a lot of data, and it is very evidence-based. So we were able to get these reports every week that showed us how many minutes the students were reading. Anything you see in green is good, and they are all on a go. And anything yellow is like the yellow light, they're almost there, but not quite. And then anything in red or white, they haven't been participating. But as you see, we have more greens than anything else. And so one of the things is we didn't know how this was going to go. And we looked and we said, okay, they started out strong and they actually stayed strong. I know this is probably hard to read unless you have like a big, huge TV screen for your monitor. But if you look at the minutes, the kids are asked to do 900 minutes over the 12 weeks. And these kids did, the one that my cursor is on, and I'm not sure if you guys can see this now, so I'm going to move it over, did 2,772 minutes. So 3 times the amount that we asked them to. And this led to the miraculous, I call, results, because an average FLIP cohort in the 3 months raises their reading level about 1 grade level. And the students in the ZAP, the reading gap cohort from the foster care, did about 24% better. And they raised their reading level about 1.25 years in 3 months. Wow. So they did excellent. We were so very proud of them. So because of their great work, we put together a little recipe for a special celebration. And it involved prize tablets, the Cambria Hotel in Madeira Beach. We had a fellow Rotarian who was the manager out there. So he was able to give us his rooftop deck that had a pool, and we had pizza and a pool party. And so those kids were not only rewarded for doing the work, but and improving their reading academically, they also received that intrinsic or that other reward other than the intrinsic reward of doing well. And here's a picture of some of our club members and some of the students who were involved. As you can see, they're holding their tablets. So not only does the Family Literacy Project help kids improve their reading, when they do those 900 minutes or more, they earn their own tablet. So we're helping to bridge the digital divide. And some of the students who used the program and earned a tablet during the pandemic were able to use their tablet to do their work when the pandemic came and the schools weren't getting computers and things and devices out. So the program has so many rewards and benefits. It's for us, it was a no-brainer and it worked really well. And so our next steps in moving the needle in our community, we got approved this year for a district grant. So we will be actually doing another 100 kids and through that grant and the generous donations of other Rotary clubs. The district grant was a little bit shy of $15,000 with a match of 15, and then clubs in our area are raising the other 35 to make it a $50,000 grant. So we are off on a roll here, and we are ready to make this happen and really raise the bar and the needle for these kids and move the needle. You know, a lot of times I meet people and they ask us what they can do. And one of the things is if you guys can team up with Midtown and the other St. Pete clubs for the district grant, we are always looking for people to help amplify our effect. Commit to sponsoring a group or cohort of kids. And we hold a monthly literacy meeting, and you can, I'm going to put my info up and you can contact me. It's always the second Wednesday of each month at 2:30. It's through Zoom, so anybody can join and they are welcome, and I can give you that information. And here is my contact information, which I can also put in the chat in a few minutes. And then that's about it. If there are any questions, I will gladly answer questions. And other than that, we'll move it on to Carlo. And unfortunately, I must say this, I'm not sure if people are raising their hands because I cannot see, I can only see like 4 people. So if anybody has any questions, please, please, please come off of mute and I'll be happy to answer them. And if not, I will pass it to Carlo.
And if you could think of any questions a little bit later on, go ahead and put them in the chat and I'll go ahead and relay them.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
I think Will has a question.
Yeah, actually, Erica, I had a comment.
Okay.
I was the Midtown Club's first assistant governor way back when you guys started. And I have followed your ups and downs, and I am so proud as a past district governor of what you guys are doing. You're just making a fantastic impression and change in that St. Pete area. And I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for your service to, well, I mean, phenomenal. As you said, we have had, like most clubs, we are not a big club. And I just like to let people know that we always say that we are small but mighty. But one of the great things about Rotary is that we can amplify our effect with other clubs and other Rotarians around us. So really appreciate the opportunity to come and speak. And if I can ever help in any way, like I said, I'll put my information in the chat. Please, please, please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And Alicia, do you want to introduce Carlo, or would you like for me to?
Oh, by all means, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so Carlo Franzblau is the co-founder, along with his wife Beth, of a nonprofit called Sing Out and Read. And the Sing Out and Read empowers struggling readers to improve their reading through the power of song. And Sing Out and Read is very new in the nonprofit world, been around almost 4 years, right, Carlo?
Yep.
And has been doing some amazing work. And I did see a question in the chat, and I'll answer that. I think, you know, someone asked about, and I'm going to answer it because it has to do with where Sing Out and Read is. The offices of Sing Out and Read are located in Tampa and Hillsborough County. And so I think the question is there an opportunity to duplicate this in Hillsborough at a camp or at a charter school, I think. And so the answer to that, I think I'll pitch that over to Carlo, but I can definitely say the answer is yes, because Sing Out and Read operates within Pinellas and Hillsborough counties. And I don't want to waste any more time. Carlo has patents, and if you want to read more, I'll put a longer bio in the chat, but he and his wife and his whole team have been doing amazing work I can not speak, it just speaks more than, like, I can only say so many words, but the work in itself really tells a story. And Carlo is going to go ahead and tell that story. So Carlo, if you can share your screen and take it away. Thanks.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for this opportunity. I'm going to go right into my slides, and I'm going to try and play a video about in the middle, which you'll hear about the impact on one particular woman and her 2 daughters' lives. And then we'll also try and have time for questions. So here we go. Share sound, share screen. I don't know if I did that right. What do you get? Do you guys see anything? Let's try that again. All right, share the screen. There we go, screen 2. All right. Please.
Great.
Yep, the thumbs are up. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, yeah, there's one of the things I do in my presentation is I depress the heck out of people first. Here's my agenda. Pretty much every statistic I've ever found about literacy in the United States in the last 50 years is depressing statistic, unfortunately. I do have some very good news to share. And then we play a video, and the good news is summed up by the fact that we can have a huge impact, and we can have that impact in 12 weeks time, which is another really remarkable thing. This article was just published 4 days ago in the New York Times. The pandemic has erased 2 decades of progress in math and reading. And the only thing that's more depressing than this is that there was virtually no progress in the last two decades. The amount of progress, and in fact, the progress in narrowing the reading gap, that is to say, the reading proficiency of affluent kids versus low-income kids, is just as large as it was 50 years ago. And that's pretty depressing when you think that 50 years ago we went to the moon, right? So what have we been doing in reading in the last 50 years? Here's an article that chronicles the lack of progress. Why does it matter? Oh, it's hugely significant. All the statistics having to do with juvenile offenders in the U.S. prison population point to low rates of literacy as a very big factor. So the good news is that even if you sing as badly as I do, singing will help improve your reading. And this isn't something that reading teachers learn in school. They're taught a whole different set of strategies, one that might make more sense. Maybe they're more intuitive, but it turns out that singing basically in a karaoke fashion is like steroids for improving your reading. And how do we know this? We know this because Dr. Susan Homan at the University of South Florida's College of Education did about 6 years of research on this Sing to Improve Reading approach. And this is just the results of one of her studies. She always used a rigorous design of her research with a control group of sufficient size to be statistically significant, a treatment group. These are 4th and 5th graders. Reading the 1.6 refers to first grade, 6th month, and so on. And after the intervention, the Singing to Improve Reading was used in the treatment group, you saw this huge increase in reading comprehension over a year, almost a year and a half, according to the assessments that she used. So all the learning from Dr. Homan's research was used to create a very highly effective reading intervention program that was called Tune Into Reading. I was very instrumental in making that piece of software available commercially and now through the nonprofit. And with the nonprofit, we created something called the Family Literacy Project. I'm going to explain that in a second, but I do want to reinforce that the primary benefit is that kids gain a full year in reading in just 3 months' time. In addition to Dr. Homan's research, which was done from roughly 2005 to 2011, there's brand new research from Kent State University. A practitioner there, Dr. Tim Rosinski, has just released a review of 3 different implementations worth of data that we did at Sing Out and Read, and he found the efficacy of this approach of using the singing to improve reading was just as effective as Dr. Homan documented over a decade ago. So what is the Family Literacy Project? Basically, it's taking this singing software and putting it on a tablet and sending it home with the kids. So it's a program that lasts 12 weeks, and the tablet goes home with the kids. It's a loaner tablet, and the kids are connected to the internet either through Wi-Fi or cell connection if they need it. And the kids play a game-like karaoke experience. There's 4 steps to the pedagogy, where there's a listening exercise. They look up their vocab words, they sing 5 times, and then they take a quiz. And that's the cycle that's repeated through each of the song lessons the children tackle. I'm going to go ahead now and play this video, and I think what Vanessa says about what it did for her family is worth many thousands of words. So just give me a thumbs up that you can hear the audio, please. Here we go.
My name is Vanessa A.Bostdorff-Miller.
My name is Brianna. I'm 9 and in 4th grade. My name is Erica. I'm 7 and I'm in 2nd grade.
Miss Erica introduced it to us, and she recommended that I sign my children up for the program because it would help them want to read and want to learn in a fun way. Let them know education is important. Without education, you won't be taken serious in life. So, and you need to learn how to read to do everything else. So I take the reading very serious.
Because we get to sing and we get to read and sing at the same time. I like it that we can sing and read at the same time. I keep trying and trying. So every time I don't get it, I try another one and I get it.
Sometimes I'd actually wake up in the middle of the night. It would be like when she can't sleep, I'll just hear humming and like in the middle of the night, and she just goes straight to her tune into reading. So I'm like, when you can't sleep, read. Before it was like stuttering. Now it's like they go up like, I know how to read. Like, and I realized that even when they're reading out loud, that they can pronounce words better without my help. Reading, she's above average. I feel proud when I speak to the teachers. It makes me feel like a good mom, which I am one, so. But it just makes me feel happy to see that they're interested and they're willing, and it actually shows in their schoolwork. They love the reward from their grades and stuff, and how the teacher, you know, always choosing them and picking them, and it makes the teacher proud. Her scores go up. So I'm happy. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. They make me happy. You guys make me happy. It's just when you're a single mom and you have people who care, and so many kids don't do good in school because they don't have help. But I have so much help, and I'm grateful. It's beyond tuning to me. You guys really helped me a lot. You made it fun. You gave them a fun way to learn how to read. It wasn't just a book thrown at them. The melodies, like I love, they can't sing, honey, but you know, at least you can read. But I love that, you know, they would choose the songs and they were interested. What I love about it is that they were interested. You guys found a way to make them interested in actually doing it. So that's That was big for me. Not having to say, go read a book. It was already in their hand.
I mean, it kind of made it easier.
It made it very easier.
Like my mom said, I went up on my grades. Made me happy and proud of myself.
I wish that it could go to the schools, because now, because of their scores in reading, like teachers are asking, what did you put the kids? Can I refer other moms to it, because Brianna's reading better, Erica's doing better, so I like that. And I feel like anyone who hasn't or didn't take advantage of this to help their kids, you have to take advantage of this. This is amazing. It shows, this is gonna follow them. What people don't understand sometimes is that this follows your kid forever. So to have this type of help, you helping our kids for the future, not just for right now.
So I'm going to try to get to the next. There we go. There we go. So I often quote a number of things that she said. I just want to speak a little bit about the cost of the program and really the cost effectiveness of the program, and then we'll wind it up. Okay. Are we doing okay on time, Alicia? Okay. Okay. Great. So the way to put the cost into perspective is to ask yourself, what is currently the best way to move a kid up a year in reading in less than a year's time? You know, why am I making a big deal out of that? If you're in 5th grade and you're 2 years behind, you got to run faster than just gaining a year in a year's time if you want to catch up. So the only way that consistently, this is what literacy people tell me, that you can do this is using the old-fashioned intensive one-on-one tutoring. Now, it takes about an hour a day. You have to have a very highly trained tutor. You have to do it 3 to 4 times per week, and it takes about 6 months' time. When you multiply all that by the cost per hour of a trained tutor, you come up to about $5,000. So we can do it. If we had an infinite number of tutors, or if we had 10 million tutors, we could tutor our way out of this problem, okay? We don't have that many tutors in the country. It takes 6 months and it's $5,000. With the FLIP program, that's the tablet, that's the technology, goes home with the kids, lasts for 12 weeks. It can be done for 1/10 of that cost. So it's $500 instead of $5,000, and it's done in half the time, about 3 months' time. So it's for these reasons that I try to make the case that it's extremely, extremely cost effective to deploy one's literacy philanthropy, one's literacy dollars in this fashion. Now, Erica's already talked about the things that we can do together. Rotary is an amazing organization. I don't need to tell you folks that. It seems like an ideal partner organization for us. And now with Erica's help and her position as literacy chair, we've been able to speak to, oh gosh, maybe 15 or 20 of the clubs in the district. Is it 6950, I think? And so that's pretty much the slides. That's definitely all the slides. Now might be a good time for questions or discussion. So just raise your hand if you have any questions. And if there aren't any, yes, hi.
Hi, I'm Liz with Rotary's Camp Florida, and we're a camp for children and adults with special needs and people with disabilities. Can this be done in a classroom setting so that we can have some more control of the, you know, how the progress goes with these kids?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We've had a lot of experience, particularly before setting up the nonprofit, working in classroom settings. So if there's computer lab or laptop computers available. That's one way to do it. Some people, we have a Boys and Girls Club that actually uses the tablets that we would normally send home. They keep the tablets at the Boys and Girls Club, and they did it all summer as their main literacy activity. So we could definitely talk about that. Did you say your name was Liz?
Yeah, my email's actually my Zoom name, so it's up there on the screen, or it should be.
Terrific, terrific.
And it's still, is it still $500 per child, per family?
If we, it depends on, there's three main elements that drive the cost for us. Number one is providing the device. Number two is providing what we call flip coaches. Those are the coaches who reach out to the families to make sure they're successful. And number three are the incentives in the program. So at the Boys and Girls Club, they're doing basically all three of those things. So we can price for them, and we're going to do it at another school, Dunbar Elementary, I think is going to do it this way, where we just charge a license, a student license, and that's $100 a child for the 3 months for the software license. So it might be in the case of what you're describing, if you have the devices, you don't need the flip coaching because maybe we train your counselors or people, it can be done even more cost effectively.
The other thing is we also run a school for kids with cancer, and a lot of those kids lose a lot of their reading because of their treatment. So could we think about that for the school as well?
Oh, absolutely.
When you email me, I'll give you the contact for the executive director of the school.
Sure, sure. I should probably tell you the age range. The sort of the sweet spot in grade levels is grades 2 through 5. That's just, you know, made perfectly for us. There are occasions where kids older and kids younger can just do great on the program too. But when we're talking to schools or after school programs, we say those are the kids to focus on first. Can I ask what age children you work with?
It's pre-K through 12, but most of the kids are coming in at 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh yeah, perfect. So that's first, second, and third grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So certainly the second and third graders would be prime candidates for it. Okay, Liz, I will definitely reach out in the next couple days, and we will talk about both of those things.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Let's see. Any other questions? I'd love to know if anyone has experience. Yes, Alicia.
Yeah. What is entailed in being a flip instructor?
Sure. So we typically tell people it's about 15 to 20 hours a week of work, and it is paid. We train. Do an initial training, kind of 2 hours over chunks over 3 days, and then we'll do ongoing training. And then it's very important, of course, that the flip coach develop rapport with the families. A lot of these families are very low income. That's not an easy thing to do. That takes some work and some skill. And then monitoring of reports is very important. Usage, you got to keep the kid on a schedule, do the 90 minutes a week for 12 weeks, a little bit of cheerleading, some encouragement, both to the child, but primarily the contact, in fact, almost exclusively the contact is with the parent. So in a nutshell, that's the flip coach job.
Okay.
Oh, I should also say we expect our flip coaches to be able to handle 20 to 40 families at a time, and so it's work, but incredibly gratifying. Incredibly gratifying. Sometimes for the parent as much as for the child. Yeah. Other questions? All right. Well, if any questions come up afterwards, please don't hesitate to, I'll put my email address also in the chat. It's just carlo@singoutandread.org. And I'd be happy if the club is interested in getting more granular about seeing what the screens look like and what the kids actually do, and then maybe sponsoring a cohort. It may be better to work with Erica on that, but I'm available also. If at some point, I'll leave everyone with this thought. It's not my thought. It was a Rotarian in actually Erica's club who said this to me about, a year ago when we first got started. She said, you know, we've done something quite remarkable with polio, the most recent, month or two notwithstanding. Wouldn't it be transformational if we were able to take what we learned from effectively eradicating polio and were able to eradicate illiteracy in our schools? I would say transformational is an understatement there. And if Rotary chose to make that a prime way, we'd love to go along and help where we can. We're not the only solution. We are one tool in the toolbox to fix this problem. And boy, what a great legacy that would be for the next 100 years going forward.
Yeah, that would.
So thank you.
Well, thank you both Erica and Carlo. Any information you can send down the pike, you can send it to my email. We do basically our meeting. Our weekly meeting is an online thread. So any kind of, like I said, blogs, any kind of other external information, please feel free to send it on to me and I can post it on our meeting thread. And it's open 24/7 for a spread of a meeting. It lasts the whole week. So it's
fantastic. We certainly have with something we call our impact reports. We publish them every 2 months or so, highlighting a particular group of kids, like the Zap the Gap cohort that Erica talked about. And if it's okay, I'll just go ahead and post the most recent impact report.
Sure.
Okay.
So you could go ahead and send that on to me too, and I'll make sure it gets online.
Perfect.
On our meeting.
And just one question, sorry. Is there any way we can have a demonstration of the program, how it works and so?
Yeah, I'll be happy. We do that over a separate Zoom where we try to set up a 30-minute time frame, and we can, if Alicia, you want to check and see if any other members would like to do that, we'll schedule it, and you'll walk away with a much better understanding of exactly what it sounds like and what the student experience is.
Thank you.
Great, thank
you. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. It's not. There's nothing quite like doing it yourself. Actually singing with the device and seeing your voice on the screen and winning your gold stars, and then flunking your first quiz because you didn't pay attention in the chorus to what happened to Willy Wonka or whatever the song is about. I tease my my middle son quite a bit because he was home one summer helping us do some QA work on the software, and he attends a selective school, and he flunked one of the second grade quizzes, and I don't let him forget that. So you do have to pay attention.
Okay. I love the program because I'm huge in music. I mean, those of us that grew up in the 60s and 70s and wanted to rock on, and I just, being dyslexic myself, I find it, music has always helped. So I'm extremely excited about this program.
Yeah, me too.
That's great to hear. We strongly feel that music is an underutilized pedagogic tool, and when more educators adapt that or adopt it, we'll see incredible benefits and dividends that come from it. So it's great to hear the support and the interest and the enthusiasm. All righty.
All right,
I'm going to sign off. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you for taking the time, Carlo. Really appreciate it.
My great pleasure. And Erica's a delight to work with. So please,
Yes.
she's a wonderful resource. Do not overlook the amazing things that Erica can foster between clubs, particularly within the district, right? Troy, I think Troy is the district governor now, and I think he's very supportive of the program and the partnership. So definitely consider going to Erica's monthly literacy meeting. I think that's something that's going to bring.
Consider that. And I also want to thank Erica for her help with our S4TL.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you all. I will see you all soon. And if you have any questions, please feel free. I put my information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I will let you guys go and enjoy your meeting. You guys take care and have a great week.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Oh, my pleasure. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. Well, for a holiday meeting, that was awesome. That was awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and we can close out the meeting unless anybody else has anything good for the general club meeting. Anything in mind? Yeah. Suzanne, did you have, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to just say that we are starting up with Rotary Youth Exchange again. So we're working on getting kids together, and please spread the word. The website is RYE, Rotary Youth Exchange, SE.org. And that's, the applications are already online. So, but we are here to answer questions. I'm part of the district committee for Youth Exchange. And so I'm, a good person to talk to, especially in the Pinellas Pasco area, because that's, the other ones are up further north in Citrus and Hernando. And so I can facilitate things, and I can definitely talk to you.
Definitely.
Kids from 15 to 17-year-olds.
Okay.
We're looking for the year 23-24. So we recruit, excuse me. We recruit now, and we make decisions in December, and then the kids go out next summer for a year.
Okay.
To non-English speaking countries.
Okay. Great. Could you real quick put your contact information in the chat for our club members?
Okay. And 813-416-8434. Okay, and I'm going to put the website ryese.org. The interesting thing is that we now have taken on, I'm sorry, is it correct? No, it's SE. Okay. There we are. All right. We now are southeast, which means that we have several Georgia districts that are working with us, and I think even one in Ohio, but we definitely, I don't know how that happened, but we don't have the Tampa district. And this is a problem because some of the kids in Tampa are super, but they cannot go out of a district that isn't doing youth exchange. So they kind of need to move physically or on paper.
Right.
Because as I said, there are districts that really just don't do this. And there are a few in Florida. And so it's no longer Florida. It used to be Youth Exchange Florida, and now it's Southeast. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So,
great. Thank you.
Yes, and send me kids. Please send me kids. I'll be happy to talk. No, it's actually, let me tell you all, kids want to go. Kids want to always go. I need to talk the parents into going. And I have talked parents over the phone into sending their twins to Poland and Taiwan, respectively. I have done that over the phone. So I'm a good convincer. So if you know kids, send them to me.
Okay.
Send their parents to me.
Great. Thank you.
All right. And none of my kids have come home early. So that is so nice to see. We love working with schools. Okay. So thanks.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
I'm sorry. Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Well, this is my only night off. So I have Labor Day off. Here I can, finally take. So otherwise I teach.
That's right. That's right. We are glad to have you here today.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you finally.
Okay, great. Anything else for this evening? Okay. If not, we can do the 4-way test real quick, and then we will take a brief break and go into our BOD meeting and make that as quick as possible. So as Rotarians, some things we think, say, and do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair?
Federal concern?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it be
Will it be beneficial to all
concerned?
Everybody, thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your holiday. And we will see you in October.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Good evening,
everybody. Thank you.
BOD people, let's take a couple minute break and we'll come back on.
All right. Thank you.